Welcome to Working on It, featuring my dog's back half. I'm Dr. A, and I'm a clinical psychologist aiming to make your life just a bit more manageable. Remember, the tools and the tidbits that you pick up on this channel are purely educational. They can't replace therapy, but with some practice, they can help you along in your daily life. So let's get started. Last time we talked about what it means to be in the moment, what it means to be present, and why that makes our life more rich and more full, and how to do it. So now that we know how to be present in our lives, I think the next logical step is to talk about balance. Once we're here in our life, how do we not feel like things are out of whack? And how do we actually have a balanced life so that we could feel more sane and more happy? Okay, so got my handy dandy paper. I know we had it last time, we have it again. We had one for fears where we talked about the fear and avoidance hierarchy. If you haven't checked that out, go take a look. And today we have a brand new one. So basically what we're going to do is we are going to think about our lives in 4 categories. Because when we think about having balance in our mind, it's like 20 different categories, 30 different categories. It is a big relief to actually say, it's not 20 or 30 different categories. It's really just 4 that we have to look out for. So I will explain to you when you conceptualize your life what these 4 categories are. Okay, let's get started right away. The first category we have is education and work. Typically when we're younger, this is school, high school, college, right? And then when we get older, we start our careers, we start our jobs, we switch careers. So every single one of these categories, when I say these are parts of our life, what I'm saying is things that take energy. Some of our, we start out with 100% of energy in the beginning of the day. What throughout our day and what throughout our life and our week takes up energy, takes up our attention, takes us, right? So definitely education, and then when we get older, work is a big part of the pie. Sometimes we spend as much time in school and at work as we do at home. So this is a huge sometimes drain on us and sometimes a sense of joy, but let's keep going. What else do we have in our life? Well, the next category is familial relationships. These are relationships, I say these are relationships with people we don't choose. They are our family, right? Our parents, our siblings, our aunts and uncles, our cousins, all that kind of stuff. So what is the next one? Well, if this is relationships we don't choose, then these are relationships we do choose. We have our social relationships, and then, when we're younger, this is kind of a really big part of the pie, and then we get older, we split time between social relationships and romantic relationships in our life. So far, these are the 3 categories, and if you notice, these 3 categories involve things that people need something from us. People need us to hand in assignments and projects, right? Our family needs something from us, our time, our attention. Social and romantic relationships definitely needs things from us. Our loyalty, again, our time and attention for us to be there when they're having a tough time or in celebrations. Certainly in romantic relationships, we know how much time that takes, dates, all that kind of stuff. So, what is the next category? Well, the next category is hobbies and interests. It's the first category out of all of these in our life that have nothing to do with other people and that have nothing to do with giving our time and attention to someone. This is us giving our time and attention to ourselves, to things that we're interested in. So for me, that's always been dance. I love dance. I love it. I love it. I love it. If I wasn't a psychologist, I would dance. It's my dream. So I would say my hobbies and interests are dance, but I have many other ones: entertainment, stand-up comedy. I'm obsessed with stand-up comedy. I love it, right? So what are your hobbies and interests? Okay, this is it. These are our 4 categories of life. You see, it's not 20 or 30 different things. There's really just 4, which is education and work, family relationships, social and romantic relationships, and then, like I said, things that we do for ourselves like hobbies and interests. Why is this important to know? First of all, to create balance in your life, you want to make sure that you have a sense of what percentage of your time and energy goes to each of these categories? Like, I would like for you to write it down, to actually write down, because what you might see is instead of 25, 25, 25, 25, which it'll never be perfect like that, but maybe one is taking way more of your time and attention than the others. Maybe this one is surprisingly taking up like 75% of your time and attention, which throws the rest of these out of whack. Maybe all of these make up almost 100% and hobbies and interests are almost non-existent, almost nothing, right? Which is a problem too, because it means you're not dedicating time to developing yourself and who you are and just doing things for you, right? So I want you to go through these 4 categories and put a percentage on it of how much time and energy in your life each one is taking. And what we want to do is, if we see that one needs first aid, one needs a lot of more attention, one needs a lot more help, I want you to go through the next couple of weeks and give that one a lot of love and attention. Because the truth is, no, it will never be perfect 25% across the board, but we want them to be comparable. When we're in a relationship, and let's say it's a new relationship, we don't want to give that 90% of our life. We want to give that a good balance with everything else. We still want to have our life intact, right? When we start a new job and they're asking for 80 hours a week, we need to consider, is that really good for me and my life? Or is this going to throw the rest of my life out of whack? Okay? When we have balance, again, not perfectly even, but pretty comparable percentages, that is when we are happiest, and that is when we feel our most sane. That is when our life feels the most rich. That's why balance is important. So go through, see what's out of whack, see what needs your tender love and care, and give it some time and attention. And the other important thing about this is that sometimes we feel like when one thing in our life is going wrong, we take a bat to everything else. Sometimes we go into the self-sabotage mode. I have a video on that, which I'll link at the end. Sometimes we go into the self-sabotage mode. We take a bat to everything else in our life. And sometimes when one thing's going wrong, we feel like everything's going wrong. We really feel that way in the moment, right? Our relationship falls apart and we feel like our life is a disaster. We get fired from a job and our life is in shambles, right? This is a very, very important image to have in your mind, because the reality is, when something is going wrong, not all is lost. It usually lies in one category, usually. Yes, sometimes as an outlier, maybe 2 categories are taken up, but the reality is most of the time, 95% of the time, it is really just one category. And it is very important for us to remember that. It's not everything going wrong. It's one little rectangle of your life, one little square of your life, right? So remember that the next time it feels like everything is falling apart. Think about what category is it in and how to mend that one category. And more importantly, remember that the other categories in your life are doing just fine, okay? That's your assignment. Think about this some more, give this some percentages, see what needs love, and attend to it. I post videos every Tuesday and Friday, and in the next video, we'll sort of be doing a follow-up to a previous video. In a previous video, I talked about how to be more magnetic in your life, how to be more attractive in all different kinds of settings. I will do, in a way, a part 2 of that video where I talk about really practical, very easy and doable things that you can do to, again, be more attractive in your life, portray yourself as more attractive. And honestly, all it is being more comfortable in your body, being more comfortable around other people, and being more comfortable in your own life and in the way that you present yourself. So we're gonna do that next time. Like I said, I'll give you a few very, very easy, practical, we'll run through them tips next time. Until then, think about balance, maybe make a little square, Punnett square, whatever you wanna call it for yourself, and look at the percentages and create some more balance. You got this. See you next time.